To complete round one of the 88 season, Footscray takes on the Sydney Swans at VFL Park. Co-tenants Richmond and Melbourne battle it out at the MCG, and some highlights from St Kilda and Fitzroy at Princes Park. First though to Waverley, where the Bulldogs lined up against a side from Sydney that had gone through plenty of off-the-field trouble prior to today's hit-out, only to have those problems compounded by three compulsory changes in the lineup to cover the loss of Mitchell, Batterston and Thripp. Leon Higgins, Darren McAsey and John Brinkotter took their places in the side, not household names certainly, while for Footscray, notable recruits were former Hawthorn players Russell Shields and All-Australian centre-man Terry Wallace. We begin our coverage tonight with some highlights of the first three quarters. Our commentators at league headquarters are Drew Morfitt, Peter McKenna and Bernie Quinlan.
Weaving through the pack is Hawkins. Great hand pass to Terry Wallace. Wallace out wide to Shields, who's got a break, and he marks 40 metres out. Plays on and should go. And has. Up to Foster at half forward. Jolted out of his arms. Neil Cordy. Wide to Murphy. Up to Carroll. He's covering lots of ground. Long kick to full forward. Davis waits down. Didn't come his way. Hacked off the ground by Higgins. It's a goal. That is unbelievable.
Rick Kennedy hasn't been in the play all that much so far. Over to Hogg. He's caught. Right. Oh, they're playing well now, the Swans. Hand pass. Back it comes. Murphy doing well also. There's a kick at goal. It might bounce through. Oh, what a kick from Murphy. It's a goal.
Foster having to go against Smith. Bit of a leaning contest. There's Carroll again.
Oh.
Up short of, or about half back. Courageous mark there by Phil Cronin going the same direction as the ball. Wallace on the bounce to Hawkins. 55 metres out. He unloads a big one. It's there.
Oh, just over 2 minutes to go in this quarter. 7-7 plays 6-3. Deep in that forward pocket. Coleman doing well. Here's Baxter having a pot shot from the pocket. It's not a bad snap this. It's very close. It's a goal. Royal to Baxter. The half forward. Tui underneath the ball. It was good play. And the Bulldogs again. A long kick. Shields from behind. That was good play. He's off. Hand pass. No, he elects to kick it himself. What's he done with it? He's gone. Neither side playing particularly well at the moment. Here's their chance now. They need someone to lead. Davis leads this time. That's better football. There's the kick from Davis. This is his third. It's a goal.
Kennedy kicks up short of half forward. Tui rusting at the ball. Wallace gets the hand pass away and Footscray into attack again. Chance for Williams. Right in front, 40 metres out. Hasn't quite made the distance. Beasley comes to the back, socket through. Hunter.
And so at three-quarter time, the difference was only 1 point in favour of Footscray, 10-5-65 to the Sydney Swans, 9-10-64. The stage was set for a thrilling final quarter as we go back now to league headquarters and join our commentators, Drew Morfitt, Peter McKenna and Bernie Quinlan.
By Shane Harris, starting the final quarter here at VFL Park. 1 point the difference, Footscray in front. Smith wrestles for the ball. Right out of the middle, just to the edge of the square. Eccleston drops a mark. Through goes Cronin. Scrappy to start the quarter, and the umpire will ball it up.
I think they've got to get more out of Tony Morwood too. He's one of their experienced players across that half-forward line.
He's been very quiet today, Morwood. Only 6 possessions.
Cronin couldn't get his boot to ball. The umpire might have to ball it up again. Now eventually it comes to Healy, who kicks through a congested pack. Higgins. The hand pass missed his teammate Brinkotter. Hawkins is there, backing into his opponent. And a defensive hand pass is pretty clever actually by Hogg. Footscray at this stage happy to see the ball out and start again from the throw-in.
Well, Footscray have had far more possessions than what the Swans have, and they haven't been able to capitalise. I haven't shaken the Swans off all day, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Swans got up and pinched this match. In that back pocket, Cronin, the half-back, Smith, good effort by the big fella, but it's kicked off the ground towards centre wing. All players going in hard after the ball. Foster has been a dangerous player since Neil Cordy's gone off the ground. A booming kick. That's a 70-metre kick, but out comes Carter. Oh, he's bundled off the ball. Wallace at the bottom of the pack. Now Shields, a high one. Beasley sets himself from behind, a bit of a shove out. A knock on eventually by Beasley. Ian Roberts, was that a trip? Umpire says play on as the hand pass comes out wide. Terry Wallace loses it to Stephen Wright. Oh, he ducks around, still got it right. Onto the left foot he goes and hooks it out towards the wing. And I think all the players will be happy to see this roll over the line, and it does exactly that on the true centre wing position, with the scoreboard showing Footscray leading by 1 point.
Smith against Cousins. Comes down to Baxter. That's Vilchins on the ground, number 30 for Footscray. Tui happy to take the ball out.
Experience.
On the 50-metre line. Now what can Footscray manage out of this? Straight back out by Coleman. Well, it's a very low-scoring game. 1 point the difference. Footscray lead.
Gerard Healy playing up on Rick Kennedy on the forward line. That's not a bad move. I think they need a bit of bite across that half-forward line. Foster looking for Beasley, but now was that out in the full? No, it wasn't, said the boundary umpire. It'll be thrown in deep in that forward pocket. Next goal, very, very important to both sides here. You can see the scoreboard, only 1 point the difference. Favour of Footscray, Tony Smith against Brenton Vilchins. Over the back was Coleman, to Ian Roberts, to Bays. There's Cousins, who's done pretty well. Look at that, a 30-metre punch. Waiting for it is Coleman, who's done pretty well today. He's kicking it wide, looking for Lockman against Cullen. Lockman, not a lot of pace. Cullen got there. In fact, Cullen picks it up beautifully. A hand pass to Baxter. Baxter a short one. Here's a chance for Terry Wallace to have a pot shot from 40 metres out. Wallace. Goals.
Good goal there to Terry Wallace. Just what they needed at the start of this last quarter. Footscray now 7 points in front. And Terry Wallace hasn't been tremendous today for Footscray. He's been caught out a few times with a lack of pace. But here it is. Baxter spots a beautiful pass to Wallace, and Wallace puts it through from about 45 metres out, right through the middle. Great kick by Terry Wallace.
Bad play by Lockman out on that wing. He should have at least forced that ball to the boundary line and over it.
7 point lead now to Footscray. Won by Smith, but it comes to Wallace again out of the middle. Bamblett in front. Hardly had a touch, Larry Bamblett, today. Ooh, Shields punched over. Wright holding the ball. No, says the umpire. It comes away to Vilchins. Gets the hand pass to Shields, and he's got another one.
This is their chance now. As you can see the scoreboard, 77 plays 64, so that's 13 points to difference, and here they come again. Vilchins. Oh, losing it as his teammate McGuinness. Now it's back to McGuinness. Here they come again down to Beasley from behind. Couldn't take it. Let's see if the Swans can come back. Stephen Wright. Oh, gee, a fumble there by Fireland. Nearly lost it, but Tui's there to take it. Brincotter from behind, but it's a mark to Footscray, and it's taken by Vilchins, who just came on the ground and really livened things up.
Well, didn't get a run until this last quarter, and he's killed them so far. Up towards half forward. Smith's punch doesn't go too far. Doesn't clear the pack. Goes to Baxter. Off to Wallace. Chance for his second for the turn. But he hooked it. And out of bounds to the left.
He's improved in this last quarter, Terry Wallace. That's 5 possessions already. And just what Footscray wanted from a player of Terry Wallace's calibre.
Rod Carter to bring the ball back into play. And the Swans really facing the music now. Cousins stumps to the front. Bays back in defence, and the ball out. There's Terry Wallace on it again.
Well, they've really had some disappointing players. The Swans, Tony Morwood and Mark Bays, have done very little today, and they're two of their key forwards, the key players that expect a lot from Drew, and they just haven't done enough, particularly now they've lost Kappa, to the Brisbane Bears.
Footscray going forward again. Hanbury. Open spaces at centre half forward. Lockman's back there, drops the mark. It comes off to Fireland. Short of the centre. more chance here for the Swans. Brincotter up towards half forward. Kennedy should have taken the mark. Higgins under pressure. Kennedy again. Just gets the hand pass away. Higgins once more, number 47. Buried by Cronin, and Cronin gets the free.
Well, that is murder. I don't care what anyone says. The only guy who really went in hard after.
Yeah, he had no chance of getting rid of it. He was trying to, but of course he was pinned.
Well, it's back with Wallace on centre wing. You've got to protect the guy who's got the courage to go in and get it. Over to Hanbury. Hanbury runs to half forward and kicks long. Beasley from behind flies. Carter punches it away. Toohey loses the run of the ball. Grabbed by Shields. Fires towards the goals, across the face slightly, and through for one behind. So the Bulldogs creep that little bit further in front. 78 to 64, 14 points the difference, but I wouldn't write the Swans off just yet, because we saw in the second quarter they're capable of scoring very, very quickly once they get that run-on game going. There's Bolton, had a very good third quarter. Over to Coleman. Here's their chance to come away with the ball. Lockman. Left foot. Brincotter. Centre wing. Over to Carroll. Carroll towards half forward. Now there's a chance for the Swans. Tony Morwood will kick from about 47 metres. This shot for goal from directly in front. Now they need this man to fire. They really do. He and Bays have been fairly quiet today. Tony Morwood going for the drop punt. He kicks long. It's a beautiful looking kick. It's a goal.
Yeah, 2 goals for Tony Morwood, but he's had a very quiet day. Only had 5 kicks and 2 handballs, and that's where the Swans have really missed out up on that half forward line. Morwood and Bays. Bays has been very quiet, having only 4 kicks and 3 handballs, and the Footscray have really taken it away from there. There's the kick from Morwood right through the middle, but of course they've got plenty of ability, Bays and Morwood, and they can really turn a game in the space of a few minutes.
Well, as I said before, I wouldn't write them off just yet.
Well, there have been a few games this weekend where teams who seem to have a comfortable lead in the last quarter have been overtaken. It happened to Geelong. It happened to the Brisbane Bears. And don't write off the Swans yet. It might happen to Footscray as well. Coleman's there. Roberts. He's cornered. Just gets it back to Coleman. He's a bit slow. He's gone. Had to be holding the ball.
Disgraceful play by Coleman.
Yeah, too slow.
Roberts along the ground with his kick. Hanbury into the back of his opponent and gives away the free to Lockman. Michael Lockman up towards Brincotter. Brincotter with Hawkins. Well, for a young lad playing in his first game of league football, tough assignment with Doug Hawkins, your opponent.
I reckon, but he's a real goer, Brincotter. 8 points the difference in favour of the Bulldogs. Let's see if the Swans can get the next goal and really get back into this game. They had plenty of use of the ball today, but I think their forward line has let them down. Apart from Craig Davis, has battled very hard at full forward. Kick 3. But the other forwards just haven't made a big enough contribution. There was Bays doing the ruck with Terry Wallace towards half forward. Cullen caught by Lockman. Good strong tackle that, close to the boundary line. The umpire calling play on. And the bounce will take place almost on centre wing. Lockman having something to say to the umpire. He's tried hard today, Michael Lockman. He's had 11 kicks and 5 handballs. Now Healy. A bit of the Healy magic would certainly help at this stage of the game. Here's Higgins, has been really impressive. Still going in after it. He hooks it back. Davis, oh, great attempt to mark. Couldn't quite take it on the slips catch. Oh, gee, some strong tackling there by Stephen Wright. Holding the ball, said the umpire. And here's a chance for the Swans. He's from 40 metres out on a fairly acute angle, but he is a good kick for goal, the little rover. Stephen Wright. 10 kicks, 8 handballs. And if ever the Swans wanted a goal, it's right now. There's the kick across the face. Tony Morwood in front, fisted away. Terry Wallace waits for it. Over to Hawkins, and Footscray get out of trouble.
Pretty awkward on the left foot, Doug Hawkins. Cronin missed it. Murphy with him. Oh, clash of heads. And the ball out of play. Well, the game's certainly up for grabs with Footscray's lead just 8 points and 14 and a half minutes remaining in the final quarter. Wallace goes the paddle, didn't hit it hard enough. Bolton jolted out of his hand. Eccleston, clever shields to McGuinness. And well done, Tony McGuinness. Wobbly old kick to half forward. Dropped by Foster. Hunter into space. Oh, Cordy overran it. Foster has a second chance. Filan, kick smothered. Cordy once more, and he's kicked it out on the full. It's a comedy of errors, but it's hard to laugh.
Well, he tried very hard there, Graham Cordy, but under enormous pressure, as we see on screen. Mark Hunter had to bring it to the forward line. Beasley in front. He's got 2 to beat. A big fist away. Allows Baxter to grab it. Hand pass to Foster. Foster fires a goal. It's a good-looking drop punt, but slightly across the face. Oh, no, Shields is marked. Runs around, no pressure whatsoever, and has kicked his 5th goal.
Colours for Russell Shields. 5 goals for the match. Here he is again. Attempted soccer by Vilchins. He missed it. Cullen forcing the ball forward. Footscray. Wallace out wide. Great hand pass. Peter Foster. And he's kicked it.
Yeah, that's Peter Foster's first goal. And Footscray really charging ahead now. 20-point advantage. 14-6 plays 10-10. And they're full of running in this last quarter, Footscray. There's Cullen, he's been a handy player. Wallace has come into the game in this last quarter also. And Foster's been trying very hard all day at centre-half forward. Very good kick for goal, his first. And Footscray now with a 20-point advantage.
7 possessions this last quarter for Terry Wallace.
Yes, a very impressive display. Bolton has been a lot quieter this quarter. He had a very good 3rd quarter. Dennis Carroll's gone out of the game a bit. He did so much in the first half, he might have tired himself out. Probably best on ground in the first half. Tui's tried hard, but they just haven't got enough personnel out there, not enough big men to take a mark on the forward line, and it's where they've fallen down. Some of their bigger name players haven't done enough. Tony Smith, cross to Lockman. Oh, ordinary kick, but it might come off Bays. He's got to do a lot more, Mark Bays. Quiet day. McGuinness. Well, that should have been holding the man then. It was. The umpire picked it at the last second there. There's a free kick going to Coleman, who's really battled hard today. Bernie said he was a very good player 1 year in the ruck with Fitzroy, and I think that's his best position at the moment. That's Footscray defence through Kennedy towards the centre of the ground. Coleman again takes the mark. And it's from here on in where they seem to be having problems. And certainly that won't help a kick like that. Higgins was battling hard. Cronin. Now it's Baxter in after it. And the umpire's found a free kick to Baxter at centre-half back.
Baxter in the direction of Wallace, who was thrashed in the first half by Carroll. This one comes off to Lockman. Back towards half forward, free kick over the shoulder. And the free kick to Greg Eccleston.
Well, that's the way they've delivered the ball most of the afternoon into the forward line. And Morwood caught behind, had no chance.
Kick by Eccleston towards the outer wing. Gets to the back of the pack. Vilchins. McGuinness caught when he didn't have it by Healy. No whistle. Crowd saw it. Umpire didn't. Smith. He missed Lockman with the hand pass. That's a free kick to Hanbury. Takes it quickly. Up to half forward. Bamblett get into the play. There he goes, but missed Mackenzie. Terrible hand pass to Roberts. And Roberts has to tidy up. Straight up the centre of the ground for Murphy.
David Murphy. He's battled hard across the centre line, and just as I said, from here on in, they have their problems. Once again, big man there, Cousins, almost took the mark. Matthew Hogg comes in to help him out. Vilchins loses it to Murphy. A hand pass wide comes to Smith. Smith tries to run around. There was almost holding the ball, but he gets it to Bays. Now Bays is running wide, tries to hook it back. He does so and finds Higgins. Now Davis ducks back. Clever play by Higgins to Davis, who marks right in the teeth of goal. And experience says, go back and take your kick instead of playing on and getting yourself into trouble. So, let's see, how long to go? Not just under 10 minutes to go in this quarter, so there is time if they're good enough, the Swans. He's already kicked 3, Craig Davis. He's been easily their best forward. Coming in for goal number 4, directly in front, Craig Davis, and makes no mistake.
And a good play by Bayes to get that ball over to Leon Higgins. And Higgins saw the chance to pop it over the top to Craig Davis, who'd made position in the goal square. And not a bad game by Craig Davis. 4 goals. That's good. There's Higgins. Pops it over the top to Davis. And he thought about playing on. And he has a shot for goal from only about 10 metres out, right through the middle.
That's 4 goals to Craig Davis, 1 in each quarter. And interesting that he's kicked more goals in the opening round than Warwick Kappa did for the Bears, although Kappa had a wet track yesterday.
Wet, all right.
So maybe the Swans are close enough to mount a charge. Healy out of the middle. We haven't seen enough of that today, but a poor kick straight to Hawkins. Hawkins sweeps the hand pass to Eccleston. Long kick by him up short of half forward. Oh, what a mark by Foster.
Strong pair of hands, hasn't he?
Foster leans back on this one. Plenty of height. Beasley's there. Carter goes the punch. Shields kicked 5 goals. Keeps the ball in. No, he didn't.
Well, they've got time, Drew. If they're good enough, there's 9 minutes to go in this quarter. Shields looks very tired. He's kicked 5 goals. Russell Shields, the former Hawthorn player. It's important that the Swans get the next goal if they're to win this game. Ian Roberts has been one of their better players. He's taken Bamblett right out of the game today. It's been an excellent performance. Here's Tony Morwood. Now, they need someone to move. Now Brincotter's moving. Let's see if he can trap it. He's got it. Knocks it on well. Still going in after it. Good tackle by Brincotter on Kennedy, but allows his teammate Mark Hunter to grab it. Quick kick finds Wallace. Terry Wallace in the centre of the ground. Well, this should be a Swans mark. Yes, uncontested. That's big Tony Smith on the half-back line. Hand pass went about 2 inches. Tui, the centre wing and Bayes. That was bad play by the Swans because it was 2-on-1. As Cullen takes it, bounces it, caught. Now he gets away to McGuinness, and McGuinness a long floater to the forward line. A good mark taken by Tui.
Tui off to Healy. Carroll at centre half-back. 14 points the difference. Can the Swans lift and get back into this? Up to half forward. Maud with a charge. He was held out of it. The mark taken by Hawkins. Dashes away. Short pass to Wallace. And Wallace has had the ball more in this last quarter than he had in the first 3 quarters.
That should have been 50 metres against Gerard Healy.
Terry Wallace in his first game for his 3rd club. And make it easy for Smith in the back line.
Twice uncontested, Drew.
Awkward looking kick, but Lockman's about 15 metres in the clear.
One more goal here by the Swans would make it very interesting.
Footscray 90, the Swans 76. Just over 7 minutes remaining for the match. Eccleston. Here's Smith again. 3 in about 2 minutes.
And the hand pass to Mackesy. They've got to lead more on that forward line. There's Kennedy. They're just doing it far too easily, Footscray in defence, and I don't think they're contesting enough the Swans forwards. Kennedy, a wobbly kick. Centre of the ground. Here they come, though, the Swans. Dennis Carroll to Darren Mackesy. Mackesy a long one. Chance now, Craig Davis and Tony Morwood. Here's a chance for the Swans as Morwood marks at half forward. Now this is he's far too far out. Now someone should chip in short, and Craig Davis does, and that's intelligent play. They haven't done enough of that today. He's kicked 4. The goal here would be very, very handy. Can he kick his 5th? He hooks it. And will it swing in? No, it's a mark again for Footscray. This time it is Richard Cousins.
Defences of both teams well on top. Hogg. Hand pass over the top. Hanbury. Very wide to Filchins. He's done all right in this last quarter. Oh, a very high kick. Hospital ball up there. Carroll and Tui rattle it. Good tackle by Wallace, holding the ball, Dennis Carroll. And Wallace has really come back at Carroll in this last quarter.
Poor understanding by the Swans there too, because the two players could have raffled it.
Very wide kick by Wallace, but Beasley, no, he dropped. Oh, the umpire paid it. I think the umpire had the whistle ready to go before he really saw the outcome of that.
That is very poor umpiring. You know two ways about it. He dropped the ball and he paid the mark. Well, you've got to admit that. You agree, Bernie?
I agree completely, Peter. There was no mark. Dry conditions, you have to hold the ball in a situation like that.
No mark.
He did not have control of the ball. And he's very fortunate to be having a shot here, Simon Beasley.
I think the umpire might have anticipated that one.
Beasley's had 4 kicks for the match for 3 goals. Lining up for number 4. Make it pretty hard for the Swans to get back from here if Beasley can kick straight. Oh, it's a beautiful kick.
Yeah, there's Mickey Malthouse looking a little bit happier. Simon Beasley kicking his 4th. But I'm sure he knows that he shouldn't have had it because he did not hold that mark.
No.
Here's the replay again. He spills it. Oh, he never had control of it at any stage. But the damage was done, and of course a beautiful shot for goal by Beasley from about 55 metres out.
Well, I think that'd knock the stuffing right out of you if you're a full-back and, you know, a charity was given against you like that, because particularly as the Swans were still in the game at that stage. Now I think it's shut the gate. 96 to 26 difference, 20 points. Neither side has been very impressive today, I wouldn't think. There's Vilchins towards the half-forward line. Now, was that a mark? It was to Mackesy. And I think really losing Neil Cordy made a big difference to this game as a hand pass comes out to Ian Roberts, been an excellent player, to David Murphy, and Murphy marks on half-forward flank.
20 points the difference, and just over 4 minutes remain. McGuinness got better in the second half. Up towards half-forward, Mackesy marks. Well, a much-depleted Sydney Swans team today, and they led it at quarter-time and at half-time. As Peter McKenna mentioned, very costly losing Neil Cordy.
50-metre penalty against Healy.
And Richard Cousins brings it right up to half-forward. Still too far out to score. Royals back on, offers a short lead, ignored by Cousins. He's hooked that, nearly got the distance. And out of bounds from Coleman. And the match winding down now. It'll be a victory to Footscray in the first round. They only missed the 5 last year by half a game. Of course, the Swans finished 3rd and lost both their finals. But on indications here today, maybe both teams are looking at a bit of a slide this year, perhaps. Coleman out of defence. Hanbury. Beasley trying to wrestle off Carter. Oh, it comes back to him luckily. He snaps and kicks it.
And so the Bulldogs running out convincing winners by 26 points, and as such a much better start for them than in season 1987. For Footscray, the goal kickers, Beasley 5, Shields 5 and 2 to Baxter. And for the Sydney Swans, their major goal kicker was Davis, and he finished up with 4. In the injury department, Footscray, Royal, a bruised thigh, and for the Sydney Swans, Neil Cordy did a hamstring and Graham Cordy suffered concussion. The crowd at VFL Park this afternoon, 18,900.